According to Darth Maul himself, one of the absolute greatest moments of his entire existence is when he finally got to engage Qui-Gon Jinn in combat, sensing on the plains of Tatooine that there was an opponent worthy of his skill and his nearly 2 decades of training under Darth Sidious, the Jedi Master that he had waited so long for. This was Darth Maul's crowning moment. In their duel on Naboo, Darth Maul was so overjoyed that he believed that the presence of the Jedi's Padawan in Obi-Wan Kenobi meant nothing at all, but that it was Qui-Gon Jinn that was the true prize, sensing a great power within the Jedi Master that Maul had not felt before. But instead of shriveling up, he reveled in it. Finally a duel. Finally a Jedi worthy of his talents. In the end though, Darth Maul grew to slightly fear the potential of Qui-Gon Jinn, having to resort to something that he called a dirty trick. And in this video, we will explain how Darth Maul almost lost to Qui-Gon Jinn, and ultimately the maneuver that he had to rely on in order to kill this extremely powerful Jedi Master, as well as why Darth Maul regretted the way that he had to go. As explained by Darth Maul directly, he appeared as if Qui-Gon Jinn and himself were skilled equally in lightsaber combat. Qui-Gon Jinn was an aged Jedi Master who had been in many duels, most specifically against Dark Jedi of this era and some of the most powerful Dark Jedi of his era. Qui-Gon Jinn was trained by the greatest swordsman of the Jedi Order's generation, that being Dooku. And Dooku even selected Qui-Gon Jinn as a young Padawan decades ago because of his natural affinity with the blade, and Dooku's desire to pass down this tradition of fine lightsaber duelists. Qui-Gon Jinn was a highly acrobatic, incredibly strong lightsaber duelist who specialized in Form 4 lightsaber combat Ataru. Qui-Gon Jinn was also on record on enjoying lightsaber combat and lightsaber duels, however he also considered himself a diplomat and drew his lightsaber only as a last resort. At one point in time, Master Qui-Gon Jinn was considered second only to Grandmaster Yoda in terms of Ataru specialists. What initially shocked Darth Maul during their first engagement, and especially the second though, was Qui-Gon Jinn's ferocity. Many Jedi were reserved in a lightsaber duel. However, Maul was shocked to see that it was Qui-Gon that was taking the offensive positioning. Ataru, also called the Way of the Hawk-Bat, or even the aggression form, relied on fast-paced maneuvering and often acrobatics, and was effective against single opponents. In the end though, one of the pitfalls of the very form of Ataru would show itself, as it is weaker against longer and prolonged combat, as well as in confined spaces, which is exactly what Darth Maul preys upon. He elongates the duel, separating the Padawan in Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Master. At first, Darth Maul is largely a defensive fighter, despite being a master of Form 7 known as the Ferocity form. He knows that the longer he can draw out the fight with Qui-Gon Jinn, the better chance he will have at defeating him, as well as drawing him to a more confined area. What's interesting about this duel though, is it's in the very beginning that Darth Maul believes that Qui-Gon will in fact kill him, as he senses something peculiar. He senses that the Force itself is aligned with the Jedi and not Maul. The Jedi meets my first blow with excellence, blocking it. He has expected and anticipated my flying maneuver. If an opponent can read you, the battle is over. I do not like that the Jedi was ready and perfectly in sync with my first blow within seconds. I must throw away my normal and usual combinations and strategies. This Jedi appears to know how I will move before I even do it. The Jedi, Qui-Gon Jinn, had quieted his mind, brought his might to bear against my agility. In the duel, he had matched Darth Maul's furious strokes with a disciplined intensity of his own. Maul was shocked as he was even able to order the slave boy in Anakin away, who Darth Maul, by his own admittance, had forgotten was ever even present. It had not been since Maul was defeated and dueled his own master in Darth Sidious that he was so committed to a duel as this. We can see this play out perfectly on screen as Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul repel each other, going back to back against each other's lightsaber blows. Darth Maul is apprehensive and even a little bit reserved for nearly the first time against Qui-Gon. For the majority of the duel, the two of them are equal. Even more than this though, it's potentially possible that as the duel begins, Qui-Gon has the upper hand as Darth Maul describes. This is why once the duel progresses and he can sense that the Jedi Master is tiring because of Ataru, as it has been described that Ataru was the most tiring of all lightsaber forms due to its intensity and aggression, that Darth Maul sees an opening and undertakes a maneuver that of his own admittance he is not proud of. It could be said that Qui-Gon Jinn brings his strength to bear against Darth Maul's agility, the two aspects of a lightsaber duel countering the other. This is why, when the moment presented itself, Maul struck Qui-Gon under the chin with the hilt of his lightsaber, a desperate effort to create enough space that would ultimately result in the killing blow of the Jedi Master. In the end though, this was a cheap trick and a maneuver that Darth Maul was ashamed of, as his victory had not been glorious, it had been unearned. The following comes from the Phantom Menace novelization. The battle with Qui-Gon ended with a simple move, even a trick. Using the hilt of a lightsaber to knock an opponent under the chin, Darth Maul would usually disdain such blunt maneuvers. He is, and was, an elegant fighter, a precise fighter, but when he saw his opening, no doubt, he remembered the lesson of Darth Sidious. A blow to Qui-Gon Jinn's chin left him dazed. Push your advantage, Sith. Always push your advantage. In the end, I believe that Qui-Gon Jinn in this duel is a Jedi that does not get his due respect, as he is massively more powerful than many perceive, able to go toe to toe, and even be the superior combatant to Darth Maul for a period of time. So much so that Maul, in an elegant fighter, by his own admittance, was forced to fall back upon a maneuver that he found to be, for lack of a better word, distasteful. The Force itself favored Qui-Gon Jinn, and Darth Maul knew that if he did not take any opening that presented itself, no matter how cheap, that the duel would end swiftly, and end swiftly in Qui-Gon's favor. But now, students of the Force, I turn it over to you. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on Qui-Gon Jinn's death, and Darth Maul's inner thoughts concerning it? Did you realize just how close this duel was upon watching it, and just how close Qui-Gon Jinn came to overcoming the power of Darth Maul? What do you think would have happened if Darth Maul had not used this trick against Qui-Gon? Do you believe that he would have defeated him? And how do you think a younger Qui-Gon Jinn would have fared against this version of Maul? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. May the Force be with you, and I hope that you have a great day.